All right, guys, welcome back to another Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade video. In today's video, I've got something special for you guys. I put together a character concept for you guys because I was thinking to myself just the other day, man, what would the second anniversary on JP look like? Well, maybe it's got to be something Shibuya incident. Well, if it's Shibuya incident, it's got to be something worth being an anniversary. And of course, my mind defaulted to the Shibuya incident Realm and Sukuna. So I put this kind of concept together, and I'm not going to sit here and say it's maybe the best concept, but it's definitely. I'm not going to also sit here and say that it's balanced. Maybe it's a little overkill. I try to keep it as close to home as the meta in JP currently, but like also kind of what something that'd be worth summoning on. You know, like I try to make him good, is what I'm saying, but I didn't want to make him too good. So let me know in the comments what you think. But just to get started, I made him Ryomen's Shibuya Incident, Ryomen Sukuna, and I also made him a yellow typing, okay? The reason being for that is currently on JP, these are the characters we got for each typing. And so we got, we got this Yuta, he's DPS, this Toji, DPS. This guy's like a sub DPS, sub DPS, sub DPS. Like we got a lot of DPSs on red. It's kind of overfilled. We got on blue. We got Gojo's DPS is sub DPS, DPS, sub DPS ish, big DPS. You know, blue's pretty stacked on DPSs. Green, you got Yuji. You got this guy. You got this guy. This guy's really good. This guy's really good. Pretty good. Yeah, green's pretty stacked. But then you take a look at yellow. And if you take a look here, so we got he's good. He's good. He's a great DPS. He's a great DPS, and that's it. So I feel like this Sukuna is a much needed unit for that yellow typing. And plus, I think when I think this, look at this color scheme for some reason, the purple and yellow. I don't know why. I'm reminded of Sukuna, dog. I don't get it. It's just how it is in my brain for some reason, but this is what I got. So he's going to be a limited. And of course, it's a limited. He's going to be a fire character. Literally, because look at this art. This is the art that I would think would be perfect for him. You know, him and Shibuya about to kill Jogo. He's got the flames. Imagine like the art with the flames fading in and out, dude, with some like smoke around him. Dude, that would just be so good. Such a good like idea, in my opinion. I think it's got to be this. The pose is cool and everything. So imagine like you summon him and his like quote is, "Let's have a test of firepower." Dude, can you imagine? And he does like, you know how they've been doing like, you know, the special Sukuna animation. I think they had one for Gojo on JP. I don't know. Imagine his is like he's pulling back the fire arrow. Oh, dude. Could you imagine? Oh my God. Imagine summoning that and you see him pulling the fire arrow. Oh, dude. Oh, just thinking about it gets me excited. Like this has got to be a good unit. I can't wait for this unit to drop. You know, eventually he will, but let's just jump right into it. So the role is attacker and his focus is Jujutsu. So on the this Ryomen Sukuna, his focus is like a combined Jujutsu Taijutsu, but this guy is going to be all Jujutsu, baby. There's one taijutsu related thing, and I'll get right into that here in a bit, and you'll probably understand why, but his main focus is jujutsu. So let's get right into it. His stats, I try to keep them similar to this guy. Just to get a frame of reference on JP, his HP is about 40,000, taijutsu and jujutsu about 12. So I kept his about 4,000. Lower physical jujutsu, but higher physical jujutsu. Lower physical technique, higher jujutsu technique. So pretty standard stuff. I didn't want him to be like absurdly off the wall, but let's get right into his kit, which is probably the most important part. Am I right? So all kits in this are going to be, imagine they're level 10. So skill number 1, I made Dismantle for 10 curse energy. Deals 300% Jujutsu damage to the selected enemy. 3 hits, medium chance of performing a critical hit. Inflicts 2 stacks of continuous 20% Jujutsu damage, laceration for 2 turns, and increases own critical hit rate by 50% for 3 turns. Increases own critical hit damage by 80% for 3 turns. Very solid move. I based it off of this Show Me. You'll see very similar stuff going on there. So Definitely a good move. But the more meat and potatoes of this guy is coming up, trust me. So his skill 2, I've kind of based it off of, like, the scene right here where he grabs Jogo by the fucking shirt collar and says, "Yeah, try a little harder, buddy." Gumbate, gumbate. That's what he says. It's that's kind of what I was thinking as like a self buff. You know, increase his own ultimate gauge charge rate by 22%. 3 turns, increase his own cursed energy by 15. Uh, reduces the physical and jujutsu damage received by 20% for 2 turns. Solid skill, 0 cursed energy, not a bad thing, nothing wrong with it. This is where I think he gets a little bit interesting. So, currently the only Sukuna of the game does not have a cleave technique. This guy does. He's got a skill 3 cleave for 20 cursed energy. Some people forget what the difference is between cleave and dismantle. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty damn sure cleave is dependent on the enemy. He has to press his hands on the enemy. He has to make physical contact with the enemy, hence why this is going to be a physical damage as well. But the way I understand it is cleave automatically adjusts its curse technique output to match the demands of whoever he's facing, and if it's a stronger opponent, it does more damage. So if he's facing some weakling, he touches them, does a cleave, and they just fucking split apart. But yeah. But if he's fighting like a Satoru Gojo or something, or a Yuta, then yeah, he's using cleave, and he's using a lot of output to do a lot of big damage. So that's kind of the concept here: is deals damage based on the selected enemy's remaining HP, based on how strong they are. If the enemy's HP is 80% or more, deals 300% physical damage and 500% jujutsu damage to the selected enemy for 3 hits, inflicts 3 stacks of continuous 50% jujutsu damage, laceration for 3 turns, critical hit chance large. Also, increases own break damage by 200% for 1 time, just when you use this move. Compared to if enemy's HP is 80% or less. I don't know why I worded it. If enemy is 80% or less HP, that's probably more grammatically correct, but I digress. Deals 300% physical damage and 250% jujutsu damage. So it's already half the damage right there. To selected enemy for 3 hits, inflicts 2 stacks of continuous 20% compared to the 3 stacks at 50%. Jujutsu damage laceration for 2 turns, and increases own break damage by 100% 1 time. So, comparatively, yeah, this one's much better. If you're going into a fight and you're starting a fight, like say it's a really hard boss fight, you might want to, hit this, get those 3 turns, hit this, get all the buffs applied to it. That's the kind of the thought process I had. Dismantle, increase your crit rate. Skill 2, increase your oak gauge, recovers your cursed energy, reduce damage, or cleave. Or you could even, if you wanted to, you could just start out with some high damage, get some lacerations going, get a critical hit, increase your break damage. The lacerations are going to be good. This one's laceration is not as good, so you could go any route really avenue if you wanted to. If you wanted to kind of worry about getting some laceration in real fast, like his starting cursed energy is 30, so you can easily come in here, pop this, get some high damage, come back here, use this try harder, or if you wanted to increase your crit rate here. There's the way I wanted it is like you had options. You don't have to just go one avenue or one set path. Like you can use either of these skills first turn and they all be equally valuable. All right. So if you wanted to, go into a turn, maybe it's a really hard battle and you just, you got to get that damage reduced by 20% for 2 turns. Like that's not a bad skill. You could go through, do this, Gambate for 2 turns, use this, come back, use this, come back, use this. I mean, you can go any way you want, really. That's the idea I had behind this. So anyways, we'll just move on. Obviously, the thing that everyone's looking for with the Fire Arrow Sukuna is going to be the ultimate, the test of firepower, because that's what he did against Jogo. This is going to be kind of standard, all right? Deals 1,800 Jujutsu damage to 1 selected enemy. I heavily base that off of this, where it does 1,000 each. I heavily based it off of this. I wanted it to be similar. The difference being is that increased his ult gauge and stuff. I instead gave it inflicts continuous damage. Flame equals 60% Jujutsu to the selected enemy. This is only a one-person damage deal for 3 turns. It still fills the ultimate gauge because that serves a purpose, and you'll see why. I'm not done yet. All right, you think I was just done with this ultimate? No, there's way more. Way more. So, this little guy right here increases intrigue tokens by 1. So, I made my own little tokens because I know this guy has his own, Core of Cursed Energy count or whatever. I made this guy have his own kind of count token as well. I figured it was a cool concept. If intrigue tokens count is 10, the ultimate changes. And it becomes the open domain expansion with the black box, the fire arrow. So his ultimate is pretty identical to the Malevolent Shrine here. Only maybe some added buffs, an extra hit. I believe this is the same. The only difference to it is, it's a strong skill, but it has an additional, you've got 9 hits with this, which is very similar to, this guy's 8 hits of 16. This guy has 1750 for 9 hits, but on top of that, he has an additional 2,000% range Jujutsu damage to all enemies for 1 time, which is his fire arrow. This is his fire arrow right here that's doing all this. This is going to be like, the way I thought about it was the open domain expansion in 2 parts. The domain itself, as well as the fire arrow, which is this part right here. Inflicts continuous damage. Flame equals 60% Jujutsu to all enemies. So think about it this way. He's inflicting continuous damage with his flame, as well as continuous damage with laceration. So even if they live this, they're probably not living for long with all that continuous damage. That was something I had in mind. Like they're well and truly cooked, dog. Like this is the skill right here. He shoots the big ass fire arrow that he did to Maharaga. So how do you get this? Well, it all comes to this intrigue tokens, that idea. If the intrigue tokens count is 10, the ultimate changes. So like the idea kind of behind it is, with Sukuna, he doesn't go all out. He kind of tests the waters. He's fighting enemies. He's shooting his slashes and stuff. Even if he does a domain, that doesn't mean he's like interested in you. Remember, he did the domain expansion on the Finger Bearer way back in the first season. That doesn't mean he's interested in you. What I think of as like interest is whenever he fought Maharaga and he's like, oh man, this guy's cool. He's adapting to my shit. Oh man. Oh, I can't be just sitting back doing nothing. I got to actually lock in a little bit. So what the idea behind this character is that you're wanting the enemy to catch this Sukuna's intrigue. So, I have his auto skills here, and the auto skills are the reverse curse technique and the king of curses. These are the exact same from this genuine Jujutsu Sukuna. They're exact same. I haven't changed anything about them because I figured that, there's no point to change them. Their auto skills are probably going to stay consistent throughout most of the game's history. Later on they might buff reverse curse technique or this king of curses, but this is all just kind of passive stuff. As far as the intrigue tokens, I even made this little picture myself. So here's what I have in mind. You gain 1 intrigue token when the following occurs. The enemy deals 10,000 damage. The enemy activates a status buff to self. The enemy activates a status debuff to the team, or the enemy heals damage. So if you're fighting an enemy, who doesn't deal high damage, or, they're not doing anything crazy or unique, you're not going to get Sukuna's intrigue. The only way you can get Sukuna's intrigue is by, oh, they got reverse curse technique, or oh, they have a strong attack. Oh, they're getting stronger, or oh, they're making me weaker. And the idea also behind it was also Maharaga. The idea is like, Maharaga heals, Maharaga. I don't know if he really debuffs, but he adds effects to himself. He adapts and he does a lot of damage. So like, that's kind of the proof and concept I was going. Jogo, he was able to heal. He was able to do damage, but like, he didn't really capture Sukuna's intrigue. He just wasn't strong enough. Maybe he wasn't doing enough damage. But the Maharaga obviously does. So that's kind of the proof and concept. And there's also gain 2 intrigue tokens when the following occurs. So an ally runs out of HP or an enemy activates its ultimate. So think about it like this. Say you're fighting an enemy and the enemy activates its ultimate. Boom, you get 2 intrigue tokens. And he nukes your team and you lose all 3 other squad members. 2, 4, 6, 8. Boom, you got 8 tokens right there because he squad wiped your entire team besides this Sukuna. So, I feel like it's balanced in the sense that like, oh, fuck, I'm up against something kind of crazy. Sukuna's intrigued as fuck. And also, not to mention, every single time that Sukuna does the test of power, I gave it to where he gains 1 intrigue token. So, so you see this like try a little harder. He recovers cursed energy and he increases ultimate gauge. This guy also right here, nothing. But this guy increases ultimate gauge. If you keep using your ultimate, if you keep rushing ultimate, you're gonna get these intrigue tokens. If the enemy keeps fucking up your team, you're gonna get intrigue tokens. If they deal high damage, they're going to get intrigue tokens. I mean, fuck, one thing I could see being an issue with this is like, enemy activates ultimate, nukes your whole team, but they also get 1 for each 10,000 damage. I might do something like once per turn or something. Turn? I spelled turn wrong. Once per turn, like once per turn. Yeah, I might do something like this. Yeah, I feel like this is probably a little bit more like balance. Yeah. This one I feel like could be just normal. I mean, they're not doing ultimates more than once a turn. In this one, I feel like if you're getting nuked, that might be worth it. I don't know. Let's just go ahead and do it. Slap it on there. So this is the way I feel like this is kind of balance. I don't know. You guys tell me. Like I kept it very similar. I kind of tried to basically take this Sukuna proof and concept and like make him as strong as this guy. This skill is still strong on its own. It's as strong as this Gojo's ultimate, but I feel like like that's it. It's just a one-shot high damage attack for one enemy versus this is like, okay, I'm getting my shit wrecked and I need to pop out the big guns. Let's deal all this Sukuna damage as well as fucking one big, an extra nuke at the end of it, dog. I don't know. You guys tell me. I think the proof and concept is cool. I really think they should do something maybe similar in concept like this, like Sukuna being able to like get intrigued and have different effects, because that's the whole idea with Sukuna and them fighting and stuff is that he never goes all out just straight from the beginning. He never just, that's just my thoughts. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Do you want to see a Sukuna like this? Do you guys have your own ideas of how you think this Sukuna should function? I would be more than happy to hear them. I'm very interested in maybe doing more of these proof and concept videos in the future. If you're an anime only, you won't get it. So what I'm about to say, but Matt, like I would like to do more proof and concepts, maybe a Hikari or maybe a Kashimo. Like there's a lot of avenues you can go with, just kind of sitting down with yourself and thinking about ideas for characters in this game. But I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments what you think. Do you guys like this kind of video? Do you like this kind of content? Do you want to see more of it? I took a lot of time, spent a lot of time making this. So definitely let me know. And thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. Love you guys. And good night or good morning or good day. Bye-bye.